Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday's Thought for the Day. Well, in the sort of following on from my thought for the day last week, which was related to climate change and the climate conference that actually started yesterday, I was thinking about the concept of doing something too late. We're warned rightly that we have to act now if we're going to save our planet from the ravages that climate change brings. That if we don't act now, it will be too late. And that's true in the perilous situation our planet is in. But there are situations when it's never too late. I've been reading an autobiography of Billy Connolly, the famous Scottish comedian, although I don't see him so much as a sort of straight comedian, more of a storyteller and an observer of human foibles, but a storyteller that makes millions laugh. I love storytellers. They're important people to us. They help people make sense of things. They can cause us to think and reflect. And in the case of someone such as Billy Connolly, to help us laugh at ourselves and the absurdities of life. And his autobiography is full of laughter. It makes me laugh on every other page. But there's a deep sadness there. He was an abused child, and he struggled a lot. And he talks of how he was written off as a child at school. He was told that he would never make anything of himself, that he was just a waste of space. He didn't fit the system, and the system effectively rejected him. And so he had to educate himself, and he became a voracious reader in the local library and was interested in how the world works. And through that he found his storytelling talent, and through that he realised he could make people laugh. And it showed that though he was written off at such an early age, and he could have accepted that, he could have accepted that he was a waste of space, and that it was too late to change, but he proved that it's never too late in that situation. And as we know, he found himself and gave joy to millions with his talent. You know, like all human beings, I come flawed in ways large and small. And the Apostle Paul states that we've all sinned, we've all fallen short of the glory of God. And because life exempts no human being from sin's impact, it mars us all. We can't clean up our act sufficiently to become acceptable to God on our own. If we're human, we won't be perfect. Although I did once know someone who thought and said they were perfect, to which I just laughed, and they wondered why I was laughing. And one of the most memorable episodes in the story of Jesus' crucifixion is when Jesus had been beaten and mocked by Roman soldiers. And ironically, the soldiers mocked Jesus by calling him King of the Jews and the Christ of God, his chosen one. And against all appearances, that's precisely who he is. And Jesus demonstrated his kingship by dying on behalf of others. I mean, in the midst of that chaotic scene, you can imagine it, can't you? The horrible, this terrible scene. We learn two other people had been crucified next to Jesus. And the Gospel of Luke doesn't name them, nor are we told the specific nature of their crime. We're only told that they're criminals. And one man joined in with the mockers of Jesus. He shouted to Jesus, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us." And in response, the other criminal rebuked the first one. He acknowledged that each deserved their punishment, but Jesus is innocent. And he then turned to Jesus and requested, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." The second criminal on a cross next to Jesus, of all places, recognized the truth of who Jesus is. As part of that recognition, there's an element of repentance in his request for Jesus to remember him. At that late moment, after hours of torture at the hands of the Roman soldiers, this man recognized the true king. And Jesus' response is remarkable. He acknowledged the man's faith. He said, "Truly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." Jesus freely welcomed a crucified criminal as one of his own. And that remarkable truth on display there lay in Jesus' willingness to accept even a crucified man within minutes of his death. Crucifixion not only inflicted unimaginable pain. According to ancient sources, nothing was more degrading and humiliating than to be fixed to a cross to die. But as with other outcasts, Jesus didn't hesitate. Even crucified criminals who turned to him at the last minute found welcome. And the point of that passage, I think, is that it's never too late to turn to God. Nothing will stay in your way. If God could accept a criminal on the cross in the last minutes of his earthly life, God can readily accept us, whatever our imperfections or wrongdoing, if we turn to him. And I think if you're in that position where you're making decisions, whether you're curious, and sometimes our own insecurities stand in the way of approaching Jesus, and we doubt that God can love and accept us. If that's you, think about that. Think about that story. Think about that criminal on the cross and Jesus' response. Well, thank you for listening. There's a little addition to this Thought for the Day, which is a song written by Anam Karas. That's a trio comprised of myself and two dear friends, Terry and Jackie Mills. And it reminds us, it just talks the same thing that I've spoken about, that it's never too late. And the link should be above and below this video. So look after yourselves. You take care. God bless. See you soon.